Today's AskReddit post. What kind of people do you not respect? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. The kind who talk but never listen. One of my co-workers screwed me over and I kicked myself for not seeing the warning signs. Anything you would be speaking about, you could tell she wasn't listening and just waiting for a slight pause to jump in and talk about herself. God, I hate that. Honestly, she might just be trying to keep the conversation going. I do that often just to make sure it sounds like I am keeping up with the conversation, but I can see how some people might overdo it. I honestly love talkative people cause it takes the pressure off me. I totally agree with you. I love someone talkative that can keep a conversation going. She was a different sort of person, really manipulative. Some guy who ended up being my best friend later on had thought I hated him and badmouthed him behind his back. I thought the exact same about him. Turns out it was her playing us against each other. To this day I don't even know what the point was. Those people suck, and unfortunately I see them more and more nowadays. Completely two-faced and always trying to set up manipulative social traps to make themselves look better. Weird how some people are hardwired to constantly stir drama. The elders who always say respect your elders but then treat everyone around them like pieces of shit. On that note, the kind of curtain twitcher who stares out of their window for the sole purpose of accosting passers-by about some ridiculous trivial thing. I cycled to the pub with a colleague of mine and some stroppy old bag watching from her window came out and had a temper tantrum at us for locking up our bikes to a lamppost because it blocked the gap we used to get our trolleys to the river. This tiny gap in the hedge being A, not blocked by the bikes, and B, about 30 feet or so from a large gate designed for just that purpose. Just pipe the duck down, Doris. Why waste the time you've got left on this mortal coil making people's lives marginally worse for having encountered you? I'm leaving strict instructions to my family that if I become like that when I'm old, they're to ship me off to the foulest care home they can find, preferably in Luton. Is Doris the English spelling of Karen? Doris is an elderly Karen. Doris is Karen when they get all 6 of the Chaos Emeralds. People who try to justify their actions by victimizing themselves. It might be an age thing, but I'll lurk on the relationship 8 or advice subs and the amount of shit people excuse themselves for by using the anxiety, depression etc card is mind blowing to me. They sometimes just don't seem to recognize that they did anything wrong. They just selfishly want to trudge their own situation. People that litter. I once read that my state pays something like $15 million a year on cleaning up litter. Like, what in the actual duck? If people just weren't selfish, useless slobs, most of that money could be spent on something so much more important or useful. Instead we gotta spend $15 million on sweeping up cigarette butts and picking up discarded furniture off the highway median. $15 million honestly doesn't sound like that much. Even if you live in Wyoming or something, it seems like a very good use of that money. And even if it didn't go to littering, it would still probably go towards cleaning. People who fall for and propagate MLM pyramid schemes. Nothing will cause me to cut even a good friend completely out of my life faster than them trying to push an MLM on me. Exactly. They're so easy to spot but also easy to get trapped in if you're a gullible or easily attached person. I would convince friends to leave it, but it's up to them if they follow advice. The ones that fall for them are almost impossible to convince. They have to figure it out on their own. And it usually ends one of 2 ways. They either get out before bankrupting themselves or they don't, and in their listed assets for the bankruptcy they have multiple rooms full of product that they couldn't move. People who always talk shit about other people when the people they're talking shit about aren't around. You can be sure they also talk shit about you to other people, and 99% of the time it's made up rumors. This is why I talk shit directly to their face. Or better, Andy, Bob is an asshole. Bob comes along. Andy, hi, Bob, my best friend. You, hey Bob. Andy says you're an asshole. Are you an asshole? Bob, an episode or 2 of that can nip it in the bud permanently. Really, you're doing Andy a long-term favor. What if Bob doesn't believe that Andy said that and then Andy lies to him about stuff that you haven't done? If you take this approach, you've gotta be all in. Andy, I never said that. Yes, you did. Just 5 minutes ago, you said Bob Shaw is an asshole. Be blunt about it, and don't laugh like it's funny or you're joking. And if Andy insists on lying about it with a straight face, with you standing right there saying otherwise, cut that toxic bastard out of your life. You know what he said. He knows what he said. If he insists otherwise, you don't want to be around him. Also, tell Bob later that you meant it. Look, I'm sorry to throw you into a confrontation, but I'm tired of Andy talking shit about people whenever they're not around. If I've got a problem with you, I'll tell you. You do the same for me, okay? That kind of thing is a boost to your own credibility, so long as you actually follow through on it and are as honest as you've promised you'll be. People that think their point of view in something is the only one that is correct. Additionally, people who think their point of view in something is normal and get mad when people don't view it the same way. Just like the people who support conspiracy theories and get mad if someone shows them proof of the opposite. Just like the people who don't support conspiracy theories and get mad if someone shows them proof of the opposite. Proof being some unsourced video on YouTube. The kind of people who will literally shame you for liking things that person doesn't like, and then try to force you to like the things they like. Edit. Took some stuff out that I feel like I didn't need to put. I say that kinda stuff to my best friend, and it's understood between us that we're obviously joking. Like I like blue, you why would you like that hideous and obviously inferior color? You're disgusting, and we just laugh about it because we both know that I also like blue and that I'm just ducking around. People who are mean or cruel and call it a joke, as if that's their excuse. Are you speaking of scroting as douchebag? You know, the type of people who decide whether their decorated behavior is a joke based on another's reaction. That's the bitch. Absolutely. Definitely a respect killer there. People who treat their servers like trash. You can tell a lot about a person and their character by how they treat servers. To expand, this also applies to other customer service representatives' careers in hospitality. I'm still running server 2003 on mine. Do you have 5 minutes to talk about our Lord and Savior? Docker running on a Ubuntu minimum install? No, but come in and cool off. I have the AC running. Would you like some water? The ones that don't love animals and want to hurt them because it's fun. In my case, it is not a matter of not respect. Hurting animals is one of the very few things in the world that makes me wanna go full violent on the perpetrator. That's why I'd probably never be a good superhero. If I had powers, I wouldn't be able to stop myself from doing bad shit to those types of people. New anti-hero, the veterinarian, saves animals from abusive owners people while beating the owners people to a pulp, or treating them as they treated the animals, depending upon which punishment is deemed worse. Howler monkeys with smaller testicles scream louder to compensate for their shortcomings. Those who say sorry for shitty behavior but continue the shitty behavior they apologized for. Those useless duckers that are rude and thoughtless online or over texts, but when they see you in person they are literally dripping sugar and honey trying to suck up to you and pretend you like them. Fuck them. So trolls? You know trolls in real life, lol. A few, yeah. Wow, I would be asking them a million questions if I knew one, IRL lol. People who use the phrase I'm just an honest person as an excuse to say whatever they want. It's pathetic to see an adult who never developed a filter. Do you ever notice they never seem to feel the need to be honest about anything nice? Yeah, it's really just an excuse to be an asshole. People who appropriate mental illnesses to sound quirky and unique. I'm not impressed by your made up repertoire. So many people are guilty of this. Feeling an emotion is not mental illness. I burnt my toast this morning. I have depression. My gas light came on while I was driving to work. I have anxiety. It finally stopped raining. I feel so manic. Out of the office. Lem just straighten this photo on the wall. Sorry, I'm so OCD. Holy shit, as someone WHO actually has OCD. I hate when people do this so fucking much. That isn't what OCD is. Same. It's so infuriating and it really shows how little people actually know about the disorder. Inconsiderate people who are unaware of themselves and their impact on others. A little secret. Fear not unaware. They know exactly what they're doing. Fair. They either don't know or don't care, but either way they drive me nuts. Closed-minded or arrogant people. Personally, I have a lot of time for people who are genuinely talented or knowledgeable, but who are also cocky about their abilities, so get mistakenly perceived as arrogant. Racist, pedophiles, and the Kardashian family, arson, murder and jaywalking. Child abusers. I know firsthand how shitty it is growing up with one. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. Without having gone through it I wouldn't be me. People that annoy you on purpose. Oh my god, my stepmom encourages my younger stepbrother to annoy me. This is why I have zero respect for her, but I still have to suck up to her. People who expect you to respect them while doing nothing to earn it. Closed-mindedness. And those who do nothing to improve themselves or think the only growth you can do is physical. Dad? Vegans who make their pets go vegan. Vegans who make their carnivorous pets go vegan. Fixed it. People who double down instead of admitting they are wrong. Karens. Backstabbers. Users. People who use other people for their own benefits. And cheaters. Users. Every IT guy agrees with you. People who litter, make messes in public places and don't clean them up. People who feel the need to belittle others to feel better about themselves, which includes those who feel the need to belittle other races and cultures to feel better about theirs, and those who feel the need to belittle others who enjoy certain entertainment media that they find subpar, be it music, games, even social media platform, just to feel better about their tastes in media. Finally, someone put it in words. The one who wants to legalize pedophilia or try to insert themselves into LGBTQ+ communities. Nope, we don't want the P in there. Thank you very much. Edit. I'm not saying that pedophilia shouldn't be treated. Get adequate psychological support so they don't become perps. That's very important. It just isn't a preference that should be normalized. Yeah, that's exactly it. They think if they get into LGBTQ they will be legal. People who tout their religion while being ghastly in their own lives. Yes, you can be religious without being a bitch and telling people they'll go to hell. Holy shit. Anti-vaxxers and anti-sciencers. Anti-vaxxers deserve to be interrogated when we stop COVID once and for all. Hypocrites. People who own super loud motorbikes. If you like motorbikes, great, do your thing. But driving around as loud as possible is pathetic. If I ever go to prison it will be because I finally murdered all the neighbors who keep waking me up in at least 3 different points in the late night and early morning hours with their stupid ass trucks, muscle cars, and souped up jeeps. I swear to God, one dude wakes me up every day at 5 AM, another at 5:50 if I manage to fall back asleep, another at 7:30. I feel like I haven't woken up feeling well rested in 2 years. Yeah, but aftermarket exhausts are cool. They should rebrand them to tiny penis accessories. People who contradict everything they say and can't have a decent open conversation without getting angry. There are so many of them. The open mouth closed mind people. Dumb ducking twats that endanger other people's lives and complete avoid the consequences to their actions and actually get away with it. This answer hits different in 2020. People who think that their own opinions are facts. People who are cruel to animals. So you must be vegan. Me too. You don't necessarily have to be vegan to not be cruel to animals. People who don't pick up their dog's shits. People who don't pick up their dog's shits in public places. Asterisk. I don't care if you leave your dog mines in your own yard. In fact, that's probably why your grass is so green. But if it leaves a mine in a park, then scoop it up. People who litter. People who want respect and think they can get away with anything just because they're older than me. Narcissists. People who cheat. Sanctimonious and self-righteous people who think they're morally and intellectually superior to everyone else just because they read sociology at some second-rate college and have a subscription to The Guardian. Sounds kind of specific. XD. People that hate other people for just living there. X. I am American. And I hate when people from other countries tell us that we're bitches for not using the metric system. Like, of course I'd rather use the metric system. It's just where I live. It's not my fault. The kind of people who don't accept that other people's opinions might be different from theirs. Assholes. Not the ones attached to hot people. We like those. People who take advantage of vulnerable people, like scamming elderly people. Vulnerable. The useless people who do nothing but talk shit about how other people do things badly and how they do everything the exact right way. Ugh. Everything I do is done perfectly. But you don't do anything. That is why it is all done perfectly. Fascists. Depending on who you voted for, who you think that includes will be wildly different. Unfortunately, most people today throw that word around pretty loosely, regardless of its name. A chair is a chair. Fascists are fascists. It doesn't matter how easily the people use the word, or if that excessive use has eroded the word almost into meaninglessness. The ones who feel the need to brag and boast whenever they get the chance. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.